anti-trans?
Yeah, I've got something a bit different. It was suggested to me that I don't always take YouTube comments very seriously. I've got a couple that actually supposedly tried to make points. I'll go through them, hopefully give you at least a bit of an idea why I don't really give a shit about these people. And, you know, to be honest, I probably need to just not engage with these kind of people, but I just want to show what's going on. Don't get used to this. I'm not going to be going through like fucking comments on streams. But these people insist that I have to fucking debate them in the fucking comments section. YouTube comments has the worst format of all time. And people don't understand this. People don't understand how annoying it is for a creator when people try and force you to have these debates in these fucking comment sections. So I just fucking shut up at that point. I'm like, okay, I don't care. But yeah, Jeffrey Marshall, Lily Tino. No, I'm a pick-me. I'm dressed as a pick-me. I'm dressed as the kind of pick-me that goes on YouTube and harms trans people on the internet, because that's definitely what I do. I mean, if I had like a short wig or something for Jeffrey Marsh, I've already got the voice down, so I think that'd be great. Hey kids. Oh, thank you, Heathen Granny. What did you say? You say your name was Alicia or Alicia. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to go through a couple of comments, just kind of show what they're talking about and what my thoughts are on them. Hopefully we'll only have to do this once ever, because I don't know. But yeah, this was my Jammidodger video. We're not actually really watching my own video. I'll play some of the timestamps. But yeah, this is my Jammidodger video. I got 2.1k views. Generally, when I cover someone like that, I tend to get a lot of views. And to start with, I get a lot of comments that are very positive, because that's who watches the video first. And then after a few days, they start, the Jammidodger fans start crowding in and saying all kinds of shit, reminding me that he has a PhD because, you know, everyone knows that qualifications are all that matters. Look, there's two of me. Amazing. Anyway, there's two of them. This is the second one. Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Who expects anyone to respond to all of this in fucking YouTube comments? You know what I'm saying? But we'll get to that one. So this first one is this person here. Halloween related. Not today. I can't really be asked. I honestly just don't have any interest in Halloween. I know I've never been into dressing up, which is probably odd for a trans woman. You stop watching Jammidodger because of, yeah. You have a PhD and everything. Exactly. There you go then. PhD, but then like no evidence. Well, yeah, it's because he's pushing a narrative. It's because he's a shill. So like, it's really got nothing to do with anything he would have done his PhD on, unless his teachers were also ideologues. But I don't know. I didn't go to the University of Essex or whatever it was. Anyway, so Code E, whatever their name is, don't harass these people, blah, 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 etc. Don't respond to them, calling them dickheads, even though maybe that's what they are. I understand. I need to chill a little bit more for this stream. Yeah, no, probably not. I don't have anything planned. I don't really care about Halloween, so like I don't really think about it. But yeah, so first one, we'll start playing these timestamps. So number one, okay, there is so much wrong with this. I'm just going to go in for the bigger topics. The first one is 429. Just because you're a trans woman doesn't mean you speak for all trans women. Did I say I speak for all trans women? Where they're from. I'm sorry, I reject that completely. And I'm a trans woman. No, I said that I reject this and I'm a trans woman, so I should fit in it, therefore. Wow, that was easy. Okay, what's next? You're claiming that they're trying to sidestep you and your feelings because you don't agree with the majority on how gender identity works. But throughout this video, you downplay and sidestep how other trans people feel. Again, you don't speak for all trans people. Yeah, like, people don't understand how fucking jarring it is to me all the time. Hearing all these, like, you know, people speaking for trans communities as if it's a monolith to say things that I completely disagree with. People talking about trans as if it works a certain way. I don't hear myself speaking for all trans people, so that's twice I've been accused of that without evidence. Jamie claims to speak for all trans. Well, yeah, he does, yeah. And he pushes his own narrative as the only thing. So I claim I'm trying to sidestep. notice how he doesn't he doesn't say anything about that being a bad thing. Like, isn't that kind of bad that people do this to other people just because they don't think the same way as the majority? But throughout this video, I downplay and sidestep. I didn't hear myself downplaying or sidestepping anyone during that clip. Throughout this video, I don't know. I don't know how you're going to timestamp that one, Chief. I don't think I do, personally. I don't think I have a gender identity. I don't know. This one was, then maybe look it up. I don't think I have a gender identity. Then maybe look it up so you know what it means if you don't understand. Wow, amazing. Someone has to tell me, a 34-year-old human being, that I should Google something. This is what I mean, by the way. Mix the two versions of me. I'm going to be moving up and down anyway, so this is just going to happen. But yeah, this is what I mean when I say people feel the need to tell me these things that are, like, extremely fucking obvious. Like, gender identity is a subjective thing. There is no one answer that explains everyone. Well, I'm just asking what a gender identity is. There has to be a unifying concept between gender identities. Like, if there's not, then what is a gender identity? Is it not nothing? Is it not just something that someone made up? Like, I don't know. It may be made up to you, but to others it isn't. Okay. Is that an argument? Again, it's a subjective thing. Why would there be a rights movement? Yeah, I'm old. Thank you. Why would there be a rights movement on a subjective thing that doesn't even have a common definition? That's just insane to me. Oh yeah, we've got another. Because gender and sex are different. Like, come on. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Like, these people, this isn't good faith. This is someone being a dick.
Trans people agree that biological sex exists.
That is speaking for all trans people, by the way. I didn't do this in this video. This person isn't even trans. Very debatable. And even if they do, even if in general they do, all identities work this way. So then why is it an objectively real thing that there are rights based on your gender identity if identities are completely, you know, ethereal or whatever? Sex and gender are different. Sex is what you are biologically. Gender is how you feel. Gender is how you feel? Your gender can be based off your sex, but it doesn't have to be. This doesn't make any sense. Like, what else do you base it on? What else can you base it on? Because they're describing it as gender is how you feel. That's not good enough. Like, just how you feel. Then why is there a rights movement based on it again? Like, gender is how you feel. Like, it's fine for something to literally just be how you feel. But you can't just decide you feel a certain way and then decide that you need rights for that feeling. That doesn't make any sense. And this has got nothing to do with, like, transitioning either. How you feel. What's next? But you're speaking for people. You understand that, right? You're speaking for... What is this? This looks obnoxious. You're speaking for a group of people who you don't know and aren't a part of. And yes, but you see, she actually goes out and talks with trans people, because I've never gone out and spoken with a trans person. Like, get fucking real. Also, her husband is a part of a group. I think he'd let her know if she misspoke. Well, the fucking problem here is that I don't agree with Jamie. So if Jamie let her know if she misspoke, she'd say something that I wouldn't fucking agree with anyway. Oh my god. Also, are you saying that just because she's not trans, she can't talk about trans people? That's so dumb. Let's try this one again, because I'm pretty sure I actually made very clear what I was saying. But you're speaking for people. You understand that, right? You're speaking for... What is this? This looks... I don't think she can speak for a group of people that she's not a part of. Not... Where is it? She can't talk about trans people. That's so dumb. Yeah, it is dumb because you made it up. Lots of trans people dispute their sex at birth. You cannot, like... Alright, this was a claim without evidence. Technically that's true. You can find evidence very, very quickly. James is pretentious. Very true. Just because he has a PhD in psychology doesn't make him king of trans. To some people it fucking does. The only reason religious rights work in any way, shape or form is because religions are fucking ancient. That's the only reason. lots of trans people dispute their sex. Yeah, like, you're disputing your sex at birth if you claim that you're a woman in the body of a man and that your male body is a condition that you have. I don't need to evidence that. But hey, technically they're correct. Well done. Out of the 6 so far, you have technically been right one time. That's the problem. It might be more of a case of they think sex exists, but they think it's possible to be born as the wrong sex, which is not possible. And they said born as the wrong gender. So gender is how you feel, and you can be born as the wrong gender? How can those two both things be true at the same time? I don't understand that at all. Like, I don't know. We have this complete fucking inability to come together and give a solid definition of gender. Sometimes it's socially constructed. Sometimes it's this innate thing that we're born with. Sometimes it's gender and then also gender identity because there's not enough things that we have to decide are there suddenly. Biological sex is extremely easily observed. How do you observe gender identity? How is it a real thing? Okay, so gender identity can't be observed. You can't, it's a subjective thing. Like picking your favorite color or what food you dislike or what clothes you like. None of these are rights movements. I don't know if you understand this. Code E numbers, those aren't rights movements. These things, if you say, I like certain food, I like certain color, no one's going to dogpile you on the internet. If you say gender identity is something that can't be observed, therefore I'm not sure if I really believe in it, you will get dogpiled on the internet. Fucking, I don't need evidence for it because I'm showing it on the screen right now. There we go. By your logic, these things would be real because... I think they fucked this up. By your logic, those things would be real because you can't quantify them. I think they mean wouldn't. I don't know why that's by my logic. I just want any kind of evidence. Gender identity is inferred from gender expression, which can be observed. That's not true. Doesn't give any evidence for gender identity existing. Like, gender expression doesn't have to be because of a gender identity. Yeah, so just because it's a subjective thing doesn't mean it's any less real. But it's a subjective thing that we've got a rights movement around. It's a subjective thing that if you disagree with, you get fucking jumped on the internet. It's ridiculous. Like, what are you supposed to say to this shit? You know what I mean? What was the next one? Gender identity is the gender you know you... Oh my god, that's... Well, yes, I do agree that the definition wasn't the best, but it is still understandable. Well, no. Your gender identity is the gender you know you are. So where does it come from then? How do you know you are that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The gender you know you are. But like, is gender even... is gender innate or is it not? If you know you are a specific gender, how does that come about? What's the process behind it? We don't know any of this, but we're so sure that this thing is real that we'll shit all over anyone that says otherwise. We'll build a rights movement around it where anyone can just fucking opt in. Like, if non-binary people have rights, how do you become a non-binary person? I mean, officially, you just start calling yourself it. That's all there is to it. Most of these non-binary identities, like queer identities and shit, they're coined by someone fucking writing a post on Tumblr. That's all you gotta do. That's what makes it real, is it gets written up on Tumblr or some shit. It's not good enough. It's, you know, this is why the House of Cards is falling down, because we built it on sand. Right, next one. 1044. You just described what gender identity is. It's different for everyone because it's subjective. Let's see. Well, what's even a gender? We can't even agree what a gender is. To some people, it's more of an external thing where, like, you know, it's the way that you're perceived and the way you put yourself across in relation to your sex. To other people, it's this innate thing where it's, you know what your gender is and you're born with your gender identity and it's innate and stuff like that. But that's a really shit explanation if that's an explanation of gender identity. No offense to me, technically. Like, Where is it? You just described what gender identity. Yeah, the gender you know you are, which I've already said that I don't accept. Like, that's circular. You aren't just something because you know you're something. That doesn't make any sense. It has to have come from somewhere. Different for everyone because it's subjective. Again, rights movement based on subjective things sounds insane to me. Okay, my next argument doesn't make sense. I don't know if they're from New Zealand or something, but let's see. Just female, you know what I mean? Like, what does knowing you're female have to do with anything? It's just what you are. What I could have worded this better. She knows she's female because she was born female. How can a male person know they're female when they were born male? That would have been a better way of wording it. So they said, this argument doesn't make sense. Saying that you are and saying that you know when it comes to aspects of yourself are the same thing. No, not really. Anyone can say that they know anything. If you know you're something, then you're that thing. Well, no, not at all. What if you're delusional? What if you supposedly know that you're an attack helicopter? You're not actually a fucking attack helicopter. Schizophrenia is a subjective thing. Sure, okay. You know, we observe certain characteristics, I guess. By your point that gender identity can't be a thing because it can't be observed, schizophrenia wouldn't be real by your logic. That's retarded. That's really stupid. What are you doing in chat? Okay, I can't tell if Olivia's being annoying or if people just jump on her sometimes. Anyway. So yeah, I'll admit I didn't word that amazingly. I think I went on to suggest that if you don't know your own mind, if you have something going wrong in your head, then how can you know what you are? Like, you get people with such bad, like, psychosis and stuff. They go around, like, thinking they're, like, Jesus Christ and stuff. Are they Jesus Christ? According to this person, yes, because that's what they know they are. They're the next coming of Christ. Are they? Or are they just a fucking random person? Anyway. It's not satisfactory. Yep, you can't just say you know your thing and that's the definition of it. Completely true. Based, I agree with myself. It's not satisfactory to you, to your subjective mind. My mind isn't subjective. My mind is very much in my head. Thank you. This definition is not satisfactory. What is satisfactory to you doesn't... This is just a pretentious way of saying, well, that's your opinion. Yes, it is, because I don't think it's satisfactory to say... fuck me. My brain's going. I don't think it's satisfactory to say, I am what I know I am. You can't just know what you are in that sense. And I get that I didn't really word it amazingly. If I'd have said something like, the woman, I can't remember what her name is, but the woman that was on screen knows she's a woman because she was born female, blah, 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 blah. How can Jamie know he's a man when he was also born female? Like, that's not satisfactory. You can't just say, oh, he's a man because he knows he's a man. Anyone can say that about anything. That's ridiculous. So yeah, it's not satisfactory in general. I'm sorry if you think that's subjective, but it's not. It's just not satisfactory. You've got a circular definition. You need to iron that out before you make an entire fucking rights movement around something that we can't even prove exists. He wasn't saying he was a bio man. He was saying he was a trans man. Let's see. I can't know that I'm a woman because I'm literally not one.
Men are men. Their assigned biological sex is female, but their identity is woman. And non-binary people...
Actually, I'm a bit allergic to this shit. Wait, where are we going to get to JKR? I just want to hear what they're talking about with JKR. Okay, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He wasn't saying he was a bio man. I don't remember saying anything about this, so I'm just going to move on. Gender for most people is based off sex. Why is there a... Then what is gender again? How does any of this work? Like, gender is based off sex, but not always? So what does... Because it sounds like there's an extra part that trans people and non-binary or whatever people have that cis people don't. But it's not like any of us get fucking brain scanned and shit. Like, the amount of inference you have to do. I think what you meant to say here is gender is a social construct. Like, does that mean gender is derived from sex or what? Because it seems like there's a lot of connection between the two. Okay, they didn't understand the point I was making, but maybe they wrote a whole fucking essay here. Like, oh my, how many examples? Here's the thing. You don't need to write this many examples. I'm 34 years old. I'm not a retard. If you think I'm a retard, then I don't care. Because obviously there's something major that you didn't understand about what I'm doing here. Is gender totally fluid at birth or totally absent? Desperately trying to understand it. I don't know. I don't think gender is an innate thing, really. Like, I'm not sure. In terms of like how you express yourself, isn't that largely affected by your life, by the men or women that are in your life, by potential traumatic events that make you feel a certain way about one sex or the other? We as a society made up gender based on sex. And what did we decide it meant? Since it's something that people just made up and agree is a thing, I don't think that's true, but okay. We can put ourselves wherever we want on it. Well, yeah, you can, but is anyone going to respect that? Is anyone going to think it's anything else than you're just coming up with it? Coming up with it in your head? And if that's the case, aren't you literally just trying to opt into a protected characteristic? Why would you want a protected characteristic you can just opt into? That makes no sense as well. A lot like how we define colour. I really need this explaining to me, obviously. We have colour points like blue, green, orange, yellow, but we also, pretentious bullshit, don't need to read. The same with gender. We have points, male and female. Source, please. But we have people who are in between or outside it. Source, please. Hey, I made a claim without evidence. What's this claim? What's this claim? You don't even know what gender is because it's subjective and it's all made up. Well, then it's all made up. And you're making this up. And I made my shit up. And that's fine. I don't care if I made my shit up. Because I'm not married to the idea that I have to be trans because of some virtuous reason and not because I'm a pervert or a traumatized, stunted person or some shit. You know what I mean? Here we use the same color argument. Someone else is going to use the same color argument, I think, as well. Also, what we call those points is different for everyone, so we're getting dangerously close to this being completely meaningless. So I'm so glad this person fucking spent this much time writing out this patronizing bullshit. Trying to understand is honorable, but will mostly often bend your brain painfully so. Yeah, true. Like the color blue encompasses quite a lot of colors. All of those are blue. Oh, wow. Sky blue, navy blue, baby blue, and sky blue. They're all kinds of blue. Wow, amazing. I never would have guessed. Thank you so much, Code E whatever, for explaining to me that different shades of blue are all blue. Wow, I'm amazed. I'm shocked and amazed. Being that I'm 34 years old and clinically retarded, I could never have come up with that. I could never have realized that by myself. All of those are blue, but they are all different. Wow, amazing. How do these people not understand how patronizing this shit comes across? Like, this is ridiculous. I hope people are starting to understand why I don't feel any need to, like, show these people respect, because they don't deserve any. They don't show me any respect. Blue is blue. I know, right? It's crazy. Another point is, at what point does blue become green? It's a spectrum. Wow, amazing. The same is true for gender. At what point does male become female? Well, we all start out as female, and then depending on our genetics, we go one way or the other. So it's actually at what point does female become male, and it's during your development in the womb based on your genetics. It's not a spectrum. It's binary. And if you can't define gender as anything real, then why should I take any of this seriously? None of this has been fucking evidenced. Anyway, let's round this one off. The fact that I could find 15 things wrong, what you didn't, with what you're saying in not even the first 15 minutes of your video says a lot. It doesn't say a lot. It says that you're pedantic and you're not interested in actually watching. You just want to shit on me and pretend that you're making any fucking points. I'm not going to watch the rest of this since I've already wasted so much time on this. Like, this is just rude. This is an insult. I hope you understand. This is just an insult. This isn't anything. I hope you don't take this as an attack. I've wasted so much time on this. I'm not even watching the whole video. I'm a fucking content creator. Do you think I like when people show up saying, I didn't really watch any of this, but it's bad? Like, no. Watch the rest of the fucking video. I don't give a shit. I hope you don't take this as an attack. I just wanted to point out where you made some mistakes. Fuck off. Actually fuck yourself. Hope you have a good day. Yeah, whatever. Right, so that was that one. Complete bullshit. And then we've got another one. We've got LXXXXXX. Since you didn't like that a previous commentator didn't watch the entire video, I decided to roughly continue for them. Which is in itself hypocritical. This is like not how you do a new sentence, by the way. You're making it seem hypocritical of them, because that's the last thing you said. Terrible grammar, but okay. Which in itself is hypocritical, since you didn't even watch the intro into Jammy's video, but moving on. Wasn't the intro like just a bunch of like descriptions of like terms or some shit? This is quite long, I got kinda hyper-focused on it, my bad. This is the closest we'll come to humility in these people, by the way. Like, if you're one of these people, you never admit you're wrong. You can't. Never. Alright, so this person looks like they've at least tried a bit, because I made it quite clear that all the previous ones, I didn't respond to most of them because it was like flicking flies off your shoulder, you know? Useless. Anyway, anyone can say everything. Oh, I've already seen this one. I have replied to a couple of these and I told them I'm not doing it on fucking YouTube comments. They say some stuff which, again, arrogant piece of shit that I'm looking at. But we'll get to why, and we'll get to why I don't respect this person any more than the last one. But hey, presentation like affects it or something, but like, that's it. Anyone can say anything. Anyone can say anything. Sure, but why would you lie about your gender identity? What would you gain from that? All you would gain by it if you go through with social and or physical transition is gender dysphoria if you're not trans. So why would you lie about your gender identity? Maybe for clout, maybe for greater access to a community that is hostile towards cis people. Oh, thank you, Ginger Blaze. I can do a lot of voices and stuff. I never studied like acting or performance or anything, but thank you. Yeah, clout, access to spaces that are shit towards cis people, victim complex. It might surprise you. People do in fact sometimes take on this kind of shit because they want a victim complex. They want a reason to feel hard done by. I know people like this. I've met people like this. The idea that words can have a perfect definition that includes all things that aren't. Are they a man? I've no idea, and I don't care. Sorry, that sounded mean, but sure. Excludes those things that are not as incorrect. I never said words have to have perfect definitions. I'm just saying any definition. I don't know why you do this. Like, when we were talking, it was always, you think this, and I'm like, yeah. And it's like, well, this, which is like a much stronger statement that I never even said. Like, let's stick with things that I actually said, okay? So yeah, there's lots of things you can gain. More things, you might feel like you've got no kind of identity, you don't know what the fuck to do with your life. This might present you with something that fills that void, even if it's not right for you. People go through these steps, social and physical transition, not being trans, they don't realize for years because they think that that's what's good for them and they don't realize yet that actually it's not, which is harm, by the way. This person's going to mention harm a few times if I remember rightly. But we don't care about that, I guess. But yeah, there's lots of reasons. One of them being that you're lying to yourself, by the way, because this happens all the time. Like, Jesus Christ, how are they like this close and then still fucking spooning it wide? Oh, thank you, Petunia. I used to hate my accent, but I'm okay with it. So yeah, there's that bit. Then, how do you prove to someone that you like a food or a colour or literally anything that is subjective? Food and colours are not rights movements, my guy. You can't, but that doesn't mean it's invalid. I don't care whether something's valid or not. I can't validate it. That's my problem. And if you can't validate something, then anyone can just identify into a protected characteristic. Anyone can just identify their way into competing in female sports. Language is descriptive, not prescriptive. Amazing, don't really care. Don't even know what that means anyway. you know, if you had any actual points as to why gender identity exists and that it is in fact what you know your gender is, then you'd have made them by now. Instead, you're saying language is descriptive, not prescriptive, because you don't actually have any points towards gender identity. All right, so that's that one. Okay. Trans people and weird rightoid men love to shit on trans people. Trans people love to shit on rightoids and gender criticals. So, like, what's the point? Like, who cares? You're both. Trans people shit on them because they shit on trans people? Well, they perceive that to be true. Whether that's always true or not is not true. It's not, it's hard to say in any one case, you know? Like, yeah. Like, yeah. You're not speaking, you're typing, just start here. Like, yeah. If you're going to say that someone isn't valid, of course they're going to fight against that. If you're going to say that someone isn't valid, who has said someone isn't valid? What does someone not being valid mean? Who gives a shit? Like, toughen up, stop being such a pussy. Someone thinks I'm not valid? Oh no, I don't give a fuck. I couldn't care less. I'm sorry. Why not try caring less about what some fuckhead thinks about trans people who's on the internet just shitting on anyone he can find? Who gives a fuck? Stop being so frail. Female men. There aren't female men. You can't be a female man. You've got trans men, you've got trans women, you've got men, you've got women. That's how it is. Oh, hey, Chocho, you good? And just in case I misunderstood your point, if people attack other people for no reason, of course that's bad. But that's for literally anyone and anything, not just trans people. So it's bad either way? So you agree with me it's bad? Then what's the problem? This is retarded. It only applies to gender identity and not other parts of your identity. I think that's really interesting, because I think really your identity would mean psychopathic serial killer knows in his head that he's a nice guy no matter how much the world would view the person. Well, interestingly, this only applies to gender identity and not other parts of your identity. I think that's really interesting, because I think really your identity is kind of one overall thing. And how you... Okay, I'm pretty sure they completely missed my point. Yep, being a serial killer isn't subjective. What if you identify as a serial killer? Because your identity is subjective. You can still identify as a serial killer. Just like other things like race or age aren't either. Gender is completely subjective. So why is there a rights movement based around it? That's insane. Like sexuality, fashion styles, art, etc. Right, subjective. What is like... I'm hearing the word subjective so many times that it's starting to lose all meaning for me. Like, what's the point? Why is it such a big deal then? If it's subjective, then anyone can just be anything. But then people still won't respect your identity anyway, so who cares? Oh yeah, and then we've got the classic. People feel the need to say this shit to me. People think that I'm starting 100 fucking steps behind where I am. It's so annoying. Anyway. Sex and gender are different things. Sex is your physical body, whilst gender is a social construct, and gender identity is your role in that specific social construct. So a gender identity is a role now? How is a gender identity a role? This is making less and less sense the more they explain it, and this is a common thing I get with these kinds of people, and that's why I question people like this. It's because it gets confusing the more they try and explain it, because it's ridiculous. Like, it's very easy to just sit here and be like, all of this sounds ridiculously contrived, and none of this should be the basis for like a rights movement. You know what I mean? I don't even care what that's a part of. This is an insane point. Affirming care, why? Kids should have access to gender-affirming care. Why? Because it can literally save their life, can literally ruin their life if they're not good for this trans shit. What are you talking about, Olivia? Are you gonna just talk shit the whole stream? Because I will time you out if I have to. Your Scottish identity. That's not internal. You took it on when you fucking moved. I really can't be asked with you right now. I'm gonna be honest. Anyway. It can literally save their life, which it can also ruin their life. It can also kill them, potentially. Wasn't there, one of the kids in the Dutch study, didn't they die? But yeah, it can save their life. Sure, whatever. Would they be able to get cosmetic surgery? In my opinion, no. Sounds like you're not too fussed if people think that kids should be able to get cosmetic surgery, but okay. But things like puberty blockers and binders, non-permanent solutions, puberty blockers, non-permanent, that's not always true. That's not always true. If it makes them happy and more comfortable, why not? What if feeding them fucking shit tons of chocolate for fucking dinner every day makes them happy? Might make them happy, won't make them healthy. Binders, non-permanent solutions, as far as I know, I think like proper binders are probably okay, but plenty of people end up fucking breaking ribs and all sorts using binders. So it's nice that this person doesn't mind the potential health risks of that. Potential health risks of puberty blockers, including atrophy of the genitals, including having to do all kinds of bizarro surgeries instead of the normal one they do. But yeah, very, very biased view of harm. Oh, I don't know if we even talked about JKR and this kind of shit. I'm going through a couple of comments and then I'm moving on. So yeah, that's that one. Pretty delusional answer, if I'm honest. Pretty delusional point.
People who are flat out transphobic, to people who are trying to legalise their transphobia, to actual legal policymakers. In addition to this, the world of Harry Potter, which J.K. Rowling is clearly known for, has been a safe space for the LGBT+.
What is this? This isn't even anything to do with a safe space. Oh my god. What are you talking about? I thought we were talking about the fucking essay.
Community. J.K.
Wait, why did they timestamp this? Yes, it is her fault. She has a lot of responsibilities being such a public and previously beloved person. Her voice has a lot of impact and she should know. So, because someone's famous, they shouldn't be allowed to speak their mind? Or risk getting shat up by everyone? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Responsibilities being a public figure. What responsibilities does she have being a public figure? Why can people just say this kind of thing with no kind of explanation whatsoever? And then I say the slightest thing. If you use a binder, do you end up with tits like spaniel's ears? I have no idea. Jesus Christ. Binders deform spine development. I didn't actually know that, especially in children who are developing. They just increase dysphoria. Okay, great. So this person's very into mutilating children then. Lovely. That's a joke. That's only half a joke at best. These people are cringe. Her voice has a lot of impact. You should know this. Being a public figure, you want to be careful with your words unless you intentionally want to do what she has done. Careful with your words. So how should she have expressed her opinions on this? This person, in my opinion, would only be happy if she never expressed her opinion on this. Imagine defending foot binding. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I should learn more about binders, to be honest. I never used them. I didn't have tits until I started transitioning. Oh, you wore one for a few years. Jesus. Okay, fair enough. Listen. I'm a bit naive when it comes to binders. I'll admit that. But yeah, they said it was reversible, so I guess there's people that disagree with that. But their opinion is fact, remember. My opinion is stupid, because I'm a silly little Blair White wannabe that doesn't know anything, and I'm just saying everything out of ignorance. They even fucking say this at some point. But yeah, sure. But yeah, they don't want J.K. Rowling to speak. They haven't given an example of how she should have worded it. So yeah. Talking about, who am I siding with? I don't think I side with anyone. Oh yeah, this fucking retard, dorky girl. I don't think she's been back since. If you use an argument that a set of people use, you are siding with those people on the argument. Okay. What about fucking Nick Fuentes and Palestine? What about Nick Fuentes and the Groypers and their support for Palestine? Does that mean everyone in the Free Palestine movement is siding with Groypers? You're not siding with someone just because you have the same argument as them. That's ridiculous. That's fucking retarded. Like, by the way, I get shit for like one thing I said without evidence, which is very much true, and I don't give a fuck if I didn't give evidence. Where's the evidence for this? Where does this come from? This is just excusing shitty behavior towards people that say certain things that you don't like because they're siding with people. The Shane guy that went off on Ben Shapiro also went off on Blair White about binders. Yeah, true. Oh, actually, why did I say yeah, true? That's pretty fucked up. The detrans YT girl wore one at puberty and breast never grew as normal. Okay, that's fair enough. Was the estrogen enough to grow the breast enough that I didn't need augmentation? I could get augmentation if I wanted to, but they're fine. Like, your mileage varies, and the thing with being a trans woman and growing breasts is that they grow on the sides, kinda. So like, there's kind of a chasm of several inches. I say several inches, it's probably like 2 inches between my tits because your nipples are just further apart as a male. If you see a fat guy, they're always like kind of, you know, you've got the stomach in the middle and they're always like off to the side. That's kind of why. So the only reason I'd really get them augmented, being that I'm quite skinny, I don't mind them being quite small, would be to kind of make them meet in the middle a bit more. But then I'd have very cockeyed, you know, nipples, if you get me. All right, so siding with people, completely delusional, retarded. Does this person like water? Exactly, Paggy's got me. Hitler drank water, therefore, exactly. If you are truly on no side, you would not make politicalist content. Politics isn't two sides. Politics isn't black and white. It's not a binary. Why do these people insist that gender is not a binary and then insist that every fucking thing else is a binary? It's ridiculous. Because there is nothing to make content of, unless it's a documentary, but this is an opinion piece. Listen, the rest of this comment was so stupid that I don't even fucking know what this is. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't be respectful to these people because they don't deserve respect. What's the next one? The thing that I might feel but might be transphobic in this tweet is the ignorance. Whoa, ignorance? That's worth dogpiling someone. Let's see though. Feelings are not transphobia. Yeah, these aren't fucking transphobic. What's ignorant? I mean, I can't even fucking see them. What's, like, the Rachel Dolezal thing? Why do people have such a problem with that take? What's the problem with that? Is a trans man / woman going to be 100% the same as a cis man / woman? Literally nobody has claimed yes. Probably not. Does it matter? No, not really. I don't know what this fucking person's arguing because no one said any of this. I mean, the main component of being a woman is that you're a female that grew to a certain age. And you're turning that on its head and then saying it doesn't matter. I think there's a lot of fucking people out there who say it does matter. Jesus. What does matter is acceptance and perception of others. Well, you're just deciding you're the arbiter of that, so that's amazing. It's not that my feelings are hurt because my sex is never going to be the same as the opposite sex. It's the fact that some people can't even differentiate between objective things and subjective feelings. What does that even mean? I don't fucking know, and I don't care. And it feels, for lack of better terms, stupid. No, what's stupid is writing all this and then thinking that you said literally anything. It's not that my feelings are hurt because my sex isn't going to be the same. It's the fact that some people can't even differentiate between objective things and subjective... Like, what? Mate, try not caring what other people think. There's a lot of idiots out there in the world. Like, that's... Who cares? Like, this is just whining. Who cares about pronouns? Judging by your reaction, the mere moment pronouns were mentioned, I care about the argument, not pronouns. Jesus Christ. Hi, Shinigami Wolf. Who cares about pronouns? Well, I read those tweets and they seemed fine.
Clearly not the case. She also refused to use the correct pronouns for a colleague, and she...
So, who cares? Yeah. It's not me caring about pronouns, it's me caring about that stupid argument that people constantly fucking throw out. Oh, you didn't use the pronouns for this person, amazing. Literal only difference between trans race and transgender is because AGP is a higher incidence in the population. Therefore, we're able to... Yeah, fair enough. My new voice change. Listen, I can do any number of accents for these people. I just tend to focus... I tend to settle on Posho. Also, hey Ray, hope you're good. Where were we? God, I'm terrible at fucking reading. Okay, here we go. Who cares about pronouns? Judging by reaction, the mere moment pronouns were mentioned, you, apparently. I care about the argument. I don't care about pronouns themselves. My argument is stop caring so much about pronouns. Stop hiding conversations behind being called the right pronouns like that fucking Jess person did. Not hard to respect people, you know? Is it respect to call people by the pronouns that they tell you to use? It's not hard to respect people. Why are you like trying to control people? I don't want my speech to be compelled. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want people to tell me what I should think of a certain person. If they look like a man, they'll end up getting called a he. That's just kind of how it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. I can kind of do an American accent. It's a bit south. You should subscribe to Sky. She's really good. There you go. It's American. Anyway. There is literally no harm in going by any set of pronouns ever. What does cause harm is not respecting that. What harm? I can't do Manchester very well. I'm better at Yorkshire. Listen, I don't know. I might have to start paywalling the accents if they get too popular. I don't know. There is no harm in going by any set of pronouns ever. Well, there is if no one respects them. There's certainly harm if you pick a pronoun that nobody knows to an Indian accent. Thank you, come again. I'm not great at Indian accents, if I'm honest. I should be. I grew up in the Midlands, and it's quite a big Indian area. There's quite a lot of people of Indian origin where I grew up. There's quite a lot around here, actually. I triggered a college student. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this means. There is no harm. What does cause harm is not respecting it. Like, no one has to respect anything. What harm is being caused? And why is that the speaker's fault and not the fucking person listening? Why not just be realistic? Why not just stop telling people what to say and what to think about people? I think that is kind of harmful because it can lead to all sorts of things. I don't feel the need to be controlled by other people. I'm sorry. Like, this person seems like a very controlling person because they insist that I have to fucking go back and forth with them in the fucking comments, which I am not doing. Where were we? Okay, harm in pronouns, blah, blah, blah. I feel that the best way I can describe the relation between sex and gender identity is exactly that. A relation. Oh, so it's just the word you already used. So you don't know what you're talking about. So why are you fucking talking about this? Identity. Is gender identity like attached to sex or not? I don't understand. This makes no fucking sense.
In society, as a man.
The best way I can describe the relation between sex and gender identity is a relation. What kind of relation? How does it relate? Fucking hell. Gender and gender identity probably only exist due to different sexes existing, so they are based on sex. However, I would say that they aren't directly linked in anything other than origin. So they're not... What? Maybe somewhat similar to a language evolving into two different ones. They maybe used to do the same thing, but with things becoming more advanced and the human brain more complex, has it become more complex? Since the 90s? Split into two. Though it's quite difficult to explain my view of that, and it's just a theory of mine. I respect you admitting that it's difficult to explain. Be nice if you gave me a bit more grace like that occasionally. However, I reject all of this. It's a relation. Yeah, no shit, it's a relation. We already established that. Believe it or not. Amazing. Anyway. Oh my god, okay. What's this?
Is that her belief in that
Well, he is female.
way is the one that should be protected. Judging
So I said because he is female. Maybe actually try and listen to their point next time because you completely missed it here. Wait, I need to go back further. Nice. Understand this identity. Is gender identity like attached to...
not as a female, right? But Maya disagrees with this. Maya says that Jamie is not a man at all. He is only female. And Maya believes that her belief in that...
Well, he is female. What point did I miss? Is this person, like, concussed or something? Listen, I said Jessie Gender should wait until she's not emotional to start recording videos. This person should wait until they're not immediately post-fucking head injury. Maybe actually try and listen to their point next time, because you completely missed it here. How are you surprised when people say you side with transphobes when you say this? What, that someone's female when they are? You completely ignored the point and just basically said, well, but no. Actually, no, what I said was, but he is female. So I'm glad you're using quotation marks. Quotation marks are when you're quoting someone. As in, you should quote the actual thing that they said and not make it up. With no reasoning at all. Well, no, there was reason he was born female. Oh, hey, Jen. Hope you're good. Like an upset 5-year-old. And I'm supposed to take these people seriously. I'm supposed to be nice to these people. When they talk to me like this, I'm an upset 5-year-old, am I? You're a fucking loser. Why not? Why shouldn't people, like, be able to believe what they want? Why shouldn't people be able to believe what they want? Wow, let's argue about that. Trans people aren't forcing their identity onto others. Okay, so when people sue because their pronouns weren't used because they look like men, that's them not forcing their identity onto others. When we're telling people what to think constantly, when we're dogpiling the fuck out of anyone that disagrees on Twitter and on YouTube and everywhere fucking else, that's us not forcing our identity onto others. Bullshit. Trans people just want people to respect that. Yes, by force. By force. Are you getting it yet? Are you getting it yet? Jesus Christ. What the fuck has Jamie been doing to his fucking listeners? This is terrifying. What I'm going to find out, I'm sure, is that I thought this person was like a 16-year-old or some shit. They're actually like in their 40s or some shit. So many people. Like, there was someone else in the comments being like, oh, actually, no, I'm 29 and I'm not naive because I know that Jamie has a PhD. Oh my god. 5 years younger than me and completely retarded. Queer evangelicals. That's true. Yes, I like that. There is literally nothing harmful about letting trans people be trans. There's something very harmful about letting non-trans people be trans. There's also something harmful about letting trans people be trans when, for example, they have an adverse reaction to anesthesia or they get chopped up by a fucking hack surgeon. That's harm. Why aren't we considering that? We're just pretending that trans is only a positive. So there's literally nothing harmful. If you don't know what the word literally means, then yes, I guess you're correct. Otherwise, no. There's plenty of potential for harm. Plenty. Oh, and by the way, there's nothing harmful in letting trans people be trans. What about when we take it to like the next step where it's like, okay, well, we want to be in women's sports. Is there no harm there? Not letting trans people be trans is harmful. Wow, amazing. Well, there's harm either way. You cannot believe in it. Okay, they mean the identity. I was gonna fucking freak out because I literally am trans, but you cannot believe in it. That's your thing. But just don't invalidate other. I'll do what the fuck I want. Don't invalidate other people. What if I don't think that other person is valid? What then? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Oh, it gets better though. For me, I don't believe in a god, but that doesn't mean I say religion isn't real. This is like the number one core tenet of like most religions is that there's a god. So if you say that you don't believe in a god, yes, you're saying that it's not real in your opinion. This is fucking cooked. What is wrong with this fucking person? Like, the more they try, the worse it gets. This is so fucking dumb. This is like unbelievable. Hi Raiders Cat, how you doing? I'm just reading a couple of comments. We're not going to spend like too long on this, hopefully. You don't have to believe that lesbians are married if you don't want. That's completely your choice. Anyway, not valid? Who cares about valid? What's the difference between something being real and something being valid anyway? Whatever. Because I have basic respect. That's a virtue signal at best. I'm not going to say to a Christian, you're not Christian because I don't believe in any religion, because it doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, amazing. You're a very virtuous person. Actually, no, I don't think you are. Mine's so open their brain for that, yes.
Or it does have a level of...
It's part of someone's identity, it's serious. You haven't even shown that gender identity exists. Yes, identity is serious to a lot of people. I don't see why this is something to laugh at. I don't know, but man up, stop being a pussy. Identity is with any act where it's observable and clear as to what it is. It just sounds like something you made up. Listen, if you think that I'm not valid, then you're entitled to that belief. I don't even know what to not be valid means. I thought an invalid was the same as a bastard. I'm not a bastard. My sister is. Is their belief
Well, I think it's
true?
conflict with
Oh, who cares about this one anyway? Don't see why this is something to laugh at. Then don't laugh, I guess. Who cares? All transgender identities are valid, but if you identify as AGP, you're wrong, because that's not real. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same shit. It's exactly the same shit. Identity is with... Oh my god, this is so stupid. I just realised. You complain about them not explaining gender identity, not explaining it very well, but skip the entire video of this, the beginning of this video where they explain not just gender identity, but also other terms as well. They explain it earlier in the video, and I say that I reject that explanation. Same point I made at 29. Oh, they're proud of this one. Oh my god. They're so proud of this fucking one, even though it's complete bollocks. Well done. Well done. You've said something stupid twice.
trans people. I'm just doing that to illustrate it to you. The judge ruled it.
Right of having a gender identity. That's terrifying. Like, this is terrifying because you're legalizing something that anyone can just claim they are. Yes, that's terrifying. That's fucking weird. You shouldn't want that. No one should want that. Because that can be used against you just as easily as you can use it against someone else. It's, yeah, Jesus Christ. It doesn't harm anyone at all. What's so bad? This person is off their fucking rocker. You can't show mental illness or invisible disabilities either. Do you think those shouldn't get rights either? I have an invisible illness. I don't have any fucking rights around it. Do you know why? Because I can't get it diagnosed anywhere. I have no rights around that at all. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. I don't know what I'm supposed to fucking tell you. Like, whether I should or shouldn't get rights. Who fucking cares? I probably can't. I probably just have to fucking deal with whatever's fucking wrong in my brain and carry on the best I can anyway. Because that's how you live your life. You have problems, you have adversity, and you just try your best to get through it. That's all you can do. Whining about rights gets you nothing. Anyway, listen, it's really simple. My guitar identifies as a Gibson. It's not actually a Gibson, it says Orville on the headstock, and that's the difference between like £1,000 guitar and a £3,500 to £4,000 guitar. The difference in guitar models isn't just a social construct. It isn't similar to gender at all. Well, actually, I was talking about the same model with two different things written on the headstock. Is what's written on the headstock a social construct? I mean, it's made of the same wood. It's actually made by the same company. Like, I don't know. It isn't similar to gender. Gender is subjective, so everything and nothing is similar to gender, depending on the person. The way it's debated, and sometimes their humanity, no one's dismissing it. Where does it say the way it's debated? Is annoying. When you debate a person about something that affects them more and affects you, remember how much greater impact all new academic exercise, revealing their pain. This is pathetic, by the way. This is really, really, really pathetic. This is just excusing shitty behavior. Anyone's humanity. Whoever wrote this is a bit of a lime. But doesn't that really depend on like the way it's debated? Oh, they're gonna almost agree with me. Oh my god, what a magnanimous person. How very generous of you. Yes, of course it depends on the way it's debated. It is still a debate of someone's personal identity, though. Well, then stop forcing your identity on people. And if you say it's not valid, you are still attacking their identity. Their identity is just something they made up. It's subjective. If something's subjective, surely no one has to believe in it. You're saying something subjective needs to have rights attached to it, and that's fucking crazy in my opinion. And yeah, maybe maybe that means that certain kind of illnesses I have are not going to come with rights either. Yeah, it sucks to be me, I guess. I try and get on with it regardless. Oh no, I'm not due any benefits. I guess I'll just carry on anyway and hope that I get to enjoy my life, which, you know, honestly, it's really not that bad. I know I'm trans, I know I live on Turf Island, but actually my life is not terrible. And money isn't everything, believe it or not. Anyway, what's next? What do you mean it's not cool to collect them? What's wrong with that? They're experiencing this shit. You don't think that they Oh yeah, he complains that people collated like trans tweets going after like JK Rowling. Like, oh, it's just not cool to collate them. Like, as if, like, who fucking cares? And then he keeps collating other people's tweets at him. Where is it? Yeah. What do you call this then, bro? This is like rank hypocrisy. Like, it doesn't take a genius to notice this kind of shit, you know what I mean? But let's see what they say. To collect them and pretend it's the only thing that's happening. What do you mean it's not cool to collect them? What's wrong with that? They're experiencing this shit. You don't think that they should say? There's some... Wait, so I didn't even misquote. Maybe don't misquote someone when we make the point. Pretend it's the only thing... Are they pretending it's the only thing happening? There's no fucking... I don't think they mention anything about whether it's the only thing that's happening. Listen, you don't have to care what these people think. A lot of people can't really control what they care about. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You completely can. They're so quick to dismiss their attack helicopter identity, but if you dismiss theirs, it's worse than murder. Yep, exactly. When they're doing exactly the same thing. I'm sure Jammy wouldn't care about it if he could control that. He can. He can. How come me, who got a third at uni, can pretty much control what I care about, and Mr. PhD in psychology over here can't? That's crazy. I didn't go into as many points towards the end, because I do have shit to do. Wow, amazing. I don't care about your shitty life, bro. And I won't spend too much time on this. From my view, a lot of your points seem to come from ignorance and misunderstanding. Of course, I could be wrong. You are wrong. I can't look into your mind. That's the first correct thing you've said the whole time. Well done. And no, I'm not going to go on Discord with you. So the first person, I told them after not many comments that I can't be fucked going back and forth in the comments and that they can hit me up on Discord if they want to talk further. They declined. That's their right to do so. But it also means that, in my opinion, they just don't really give that much of a shit about this and they're just grandstanding. Because I said bad things about Senpai Jamie and they're not happy about it. Because even if I would only accept a one-on-one DMs debate. God, as if you're not controlling enough. Like, Jesus Christ. But either way, my Discord is private and not something I want negativity on. I'm not talking about coming to your Discord, you fucking freak. Oh my God. Don't claim that I didn't ask for your shitty critiques, any of which I can answer easily, but I didn't ask for your shitty critiques, and I can and did answer them easily. So yes, I will actually. I didn't ask for any of these shitty critiques, and I can answer them easily. There you go. Don't tell me what to do. Which you said to a previous commenter again, because first of all, by uploading this video to YouTube, you are consenting to others sharing their opinion. Yes, you can use your free speech to talk shit about me if you want. Amazing. Well done. Amazing. And secondly, if you can answer them so easily, then just do it in the comments. No need to hide it away in your Discord server if it's so easy to rebuttal. Do you mean rebuke? Right? I love it. I love it. They're such a fucking coward that they won't talk to me and then try and make out that I'm the coward. No need to hide it away in your Discord server. What a fucking loser. Actually fucking loser. This is pathetic. This is why I'm not nice to these people, because they fucking suck. These are the worst kinds of people that exist. All of them. All of them. And they're all the same. These people are fucking zombies. They're like actually brain broken. If fucking Jamie didn't exist, they would probably just collapse to the floor because their brain just stopped. They've got no one telling them what to think. They've got no one telling them what to do. So yeah, this whole thing is retarded and I am done. there we go. Hate comments, not hate comments. That's a really cringe way of putting it. I apologize. People attempting to debate bro me, people attempting to control how I have conversations. Doesn't work like that. People telling me what to do and what to say. Fuck you. It's not going to work like that. I've been in relationships before where they've been incredibly controlling and shit like that. I don't want any more of that shit. I'm done with that shit. It's over. It's over. Oh, hey, Ink Searcher. I'm just shitting on some people that commented on my video. We're going to move on though, don't worry. The persistence of these beliefs that those afflicted is likely what the medical establishments just threw their hands up and went, okay, fine. That and the hubris and ego within medicine. Yeah, probably. I mean, it feels odd that we're accepting things like gender identity, which people are saying are subjective. If something's subjective, I don't see how you can make a rights movement based on it. I think that's crazy. Anyway, goodbye, Jamie's fiance or whatever. Oh, someone's playing dumb in my comments now. Who is this? Who is this fucking loser? Oh, how are you trans if you still think you're a guy? I think I'm a male, because I am a male. I was born male. I'm still genetically male. The only changes have been made artificially. I transitioned to what? I'm still a little confused. Stay confused. I don't care anymore. All right. Anyway.